Hey everyone, I'm Justin with AmericanMuscle.com, and today we're taking a closer look at and installing the Addict USA Umbra LED taillights, available for all 2019 and newer Camaros. Now you guys should be considering these premium taillight options if you'd like to swap out the red stockers for a more aggressive combination of the black housing and smoke lenses, and something that's going to be loaded with a ton of LED lighting and cool features. And speaking of which, what do you say we start out with those features, because there is a lot to cover. First and foremost, the Addict Umbras here are going to be loaded with the modern and bright LEDs, and those LEDs do offer some pretty cool functionality. For starters, the running lights here, or the big bold diffuse lights, those are going to sweep to the outer portion of the housing in a red diffused LED light. Now the pattern is slightly similar to the stock lights, not quite exactly here with the newer tails, but because of the black housing, they do really stand out here with the Umbras. Now just above those running lights, you're gonna find the most interesting part, at least in my humble opinion, with these tail lights, and that will be these blocks up above here that will serve as your reverse lights, your brake lights, and also your sequential turn signals. Now that sequential functionality is definitely one of my favorite aspects of the Addict taillights. Certainly makes for a very cool look whenever you fire up those signals. Now I will say, when braking, the twin running lights here do increase in their intensity, these two guys down below, and they do work in addition to the lighting blocks above to really grab the attention of the person behind you. And that's always a nice thing to point out when we're talking about aftermarket taillights. Do they increase your safety? Do they increase your visibility? And I think the answer here is yes to both of those questions with these particular options. So the plethora of lighting, the LED lighting that is, and how it is kind of implemented into the housing is certainly the biggest feature to me. But of course, we can't forget about the radical change in appearance here, which is certainly another noteworthy feature. And that leads us into our construction portion here for today's video, and the Umbra taillights are going to incorporate those gloss black or piano black housings with a lightly smoked lens. Now this to me delivers kind of that Euro look that has been very popular in the aftermarket as of late. Now there's no denying Chevy has certainly improved the factory taillights in all 2019 and newer cars, but to me these are just different, right? In fact, pulling them out of the box, I'm getting big time C7 Z06 vibes, and I don't think that's a bad thing at all, especially if you're looking to kind of mix up the appearance a little bit, but not really get too far away from some sort of factory Chevy vibes. Now the lenses themselves, they've been made from a UV resistant polycarbonate material. The entire package is DOT and SAE legal, and it has been backed by a 1-year warranty in case you run into any issues. Talking price point here with the Umbras, and these guys are going to come in right around that mid $700 price point, which does put these right on par with the rest of the other options in the category for your 19 and newer Camaro. Also keep in mind, guys, these do include, of course, free shipping and that 1-year limited warranty just in case you run into any issues. Now, one of the nice things about the Umbra taillights is that even though they are loaded with a ton of extra features, including those sequential turn signals, there's really no hardcore wiring or anything like that required. In fact, most of this job is going to be plug and play. So therefore, the site is going to call it a soft 2 out of 3 wrenches on the difficulty meter, and maybe an hour at most of your time to get in place from start to finish. But now we're going to throw things out to an American Muscle customer for a detailed walkthrough. Check it out.
All right, tools that were required for this. We needed a push pin puller, a Phillips screwdriver, a small flathead screwdriver for popping your electrical pins, a 7mm socket, an 8mm, a T15 with a ratchet, your alcohol, a drill, and either electrical tape or Tessa tape. Hey everyone, today we're going to be installing our next mod from American Muscle on the 2019 Camaro SS1LE. The mod we're going to be installing today is the Addict Umbra taillights for 19 through 24. So let's go ahead and get started. All right, once we got the trunk open, we need to go ahead and remove the tail deck cover. We need to pop all these, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of them. Go ahead and get those off. And then we're going to grab the push pins on top of the tail lights. There's 3 for each side. We need to go ahead and take those off, exposing your tail lights. All right, so we're going to go ahead and remove these 7 pins. And remove the cover for the lock. It pops off. Then go ahead and remove your cover. Now we're going to go ahead and remove the 3 push pins for the taillight covers. And go ahead and remove your cover. And do the same on the other side. All right, next what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and remove the bumper. To remove the bumper, we need a T15 torque bit and 7mm socket. First, we need to remove the 3 15 torque bits that are located here, here, and down here so that we can remove the carpet back. Once the carpet is removed back, there's a 715 bolt here. On the lower side, we'll cover those. There are 5 7mm bolts on each side and another T15 torque bit. So let's go ahead and remove these. All right, now that we have those 3 removed, we'll go ahead and go down to the bottom side and remove the 7mm and the T15 on the lower side. All right, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and the 5th one is right here. And then the same on the other side. We've got 5 on that side, and your T15 is right here. All right, now to the 5th one. Now we'll go ahead and do the same 5 plus the torque bit on the other side. All right, same 3 torque on this side. All right, at this point, we need to go ahead and peel the liner back. And inside here, right up here, is your last 7mm bolt that holds the bumper to the fender. Okay, from this point, you want to give a nice tug. You want to hold just your bumper, kind of support everything, just kind of pull out on it. Now this side is released. We'll go ahead and do the other side. All right, same on this side. Go ahead and pull your liner back, exposing your bolt. Once again, it is located right there. On this side, support the bumper, just start pulling it out. I'm going to go ahead and lay out a mat underneath it so we don't scratch the bumper as we lay it down. Starting from the side, just kind of want to work yourself around. Right here in the middle, you just want to pick up on it and it'll pop off. And just lay it down. The reason we need to take this off is right here. There are 2 more 7mm bolts that need to be disconnected. Here and here. We need to go ahead and unplug our pins on both sides. We'll go ahead and do that next. All right, now we're gonna go ahead and remove these 2 7mm. Now we're going to go ahead and remove the plug. We're going to push back on this red tab. Get the screwdriver in here to release the tab inside. Squeeze down on this. Once we squeeze down, then we just pull it out. Go ahead and get our tool, pry this wire off of this here. Undo the other side. All right, from this point, we need to go ahead and remove the cargo liner so we can get to 3 8mm bolts on the back side of each light. All right, inside we need to go ahead and remove that push pin so that we can go ahead and peel this back. Now that we have the liner pulled back, here are 2 of the 8mm, here and here, and the third one is right there in the back. All right, once we have all 3 of them off, we can give the light a nice tug. And we've got it off. Undo the other side. Nice firm hold on it. We're just gonna pull it straight forward. All right, once we have the tail lights off, we need to remove this bracket that will transfer over to our new lights. We just have 2 Phillips screwdrivers, 2 Phillips screws. And we need to unhook our clip from this. Feed it through. There you go. All right, now we have our new tail light. gonna put our bracket back in, same spot. You have the 2 screw holes for it. Go ahead and feed our wire back up through. And lock it back into place. Now we're going to go ahead and do the bracket for the other side. All right, now that we have our tail lights ready to be installed, we need to go ahead and install our wire for the 3rd brake light that will connect to the lights. This plug is right here inside this hole. And you'll see the plug, this wire right here connected to the plug. So we need to go ahead and remove that plug. And then we go ahead and unplug it. Once we've got it unplugged, then we're going to install our new wire. This end here will go into the plug from the vehicle. And then this one goes back up into the plug up underneath. All right, as you can see, we've got a Y, one going to this light, one going to the passenger side. And then just on how you want to route your wires. I have an existing wire for some lights that I installed on my diffuser. So I'm just going to kind of run this along. I'm going to use Tessa tape and wrap this all up to just kind of blend it all together. All right, as our wire comes down up underneath here, GM kind of gives us a nice little channel right here that we can feed one of our wires through and run it along this side right here to run it to the other side. We're gonna go ahead and do that for our driver's side. Have the wire run through the whole channel. We'll just feed it up underneath the carpet into where our light's gonna be. Now, on the body here, we have this nice little plug. I'm gonna go ahead and drill that out so that I can run my wire through there so that'll connect to this end. Okay, right here, I'm just gonna go ahead and drill this out. All right, at this point, we're ready to install our light. So I'm gonna go ahead and feed my wire through the hole. Keeping this wire to the outside. I'm just gonna go ahead and pop it back into place. All right, now we can take our wire here with our wire from the back side. And plug those in. Now that we have that wire plugged in, we want to go ahead and install our resistor onto the back of the light using this plug. This is so that the lights do not hyper flash. We want to go ahead and clean the area that we're going to use the 3M tape on with alcohol so that we have good connection. So right here, I'm just going to go ahead and clean up this area with the alcohol. Plug in our light, or our resistor. Remove our tape. And install our resistor. Tuck all your wires out of the way. Now you can start the reinstall process by installing our 3/8 or 8mm nuts, 3 of them, 2 on the front, 1 in the back. Tighten them all down. Be sure not to put a lot of strength into these, just nice and snug. On this side, we can go ahead and reinstall our carpet. And put our push pin back in. Repeat the same process on the other side. We're going to go ahead and reinstall our wire. And plug back in. Make sure to push the clip forward, locking it into place. Then we're going to reinstall our two 7mm bolts. And repeat the same process on the other side. All right, now that we've tested our lights, we're just gonna go ahead and reinstall the bumper. I'm gonna go ahead and wrap up my wires for my lights, put my covers back over top of my brake lights, reinstall all my 7mm bolts, my T15 nuts, and we'll go from there. Alright, move our liner out of the way. Make sure we're all nice and lined back up. Underneath, we'll install our 7mm underneath. And our fifth one. then we're going to reinstall our T15s here in the wheel well. And repeat the process on the other side. All right, now we put our covers on our taillights. Repeat the same process on the other side. All right, from here, we're ready to go ahead and wrap up our wires and put our final piece on. We're good to go. All right, once we have our wires all taped up, last step is to go ahead and install the cover. And there we have it. Hopefully this helps you install these awesome looking lights. Thanks for joining us.
So if you've damaged the factory taillights on your 2019 and newer Camaro, or you're just looking to mix up the appearance a bit, definitely check out the Auto Addict Umbra USA LED taillights right here at AmericanMuscle.com.